on the topic of discounts, would there be any talk of an income-based discount? And if so, how would that work?
We've already, in the opening testimony, one of the things we mentioned is the fact that, you know, we do have to look at equity and fairness issues. We have to look at other ways of going and being able to pay, and whether or not we can do it the same way, like with our lotto system, where there's stores out there that they can go and make payments on, or the same way you can go in and make payments on your utility systems. So, say that again? Yeah, and loading credits on. And again, that's going to come back to the will of the legislature as well, in terms of how do they want to go and handle that, and what type of discounts are we going to offer out there.
Okay.
Representative, I would just add that when we do the environmental impact document, that is going to be focused on that issue, and we are going to have to demonstrate to the feds that we are providing some type of relief for the very lowest income groups.
Okay. I'm not sure I feel about that. So if it is a user fee, everyone pays the same fee. But I do have an additional question on that. So has anything been looked at then to provide sort of an income tax credit or anything like that for Connecticut residents to make the tolling as revenue neutral as possible for Connecticut residents?
That wasn't included in the toll scenario we put together for the 2018 report. That certainly is something that could be done. The drawback to it is it's a little bit more cumbersome to administer, but we're open to discussions about that.
Sure. If I may add, my office is in the beginning stages of shaping what that could potentially look like. The governor has made it very clear that any tolling proposal that is considered in partnership with the legislature has to minimize the burden on Connecticut residents, in particular our lower income families, and so the tax credit is one way to do so. Thanks to the work that DOT has done, they've been benchmarking this particular issue with other states, and so they've also come up with a creative option where you would load credits onto an easy pass at the start of the year. One of the challenges with the tax credit is a low-income family has to incur an expense and wait one time per year to get those monies returned to them. So I think there are a couple of options that can be shaped, you know, in collaboration with the legislature.
And wouldn't that affect revenue?
It would, and so we're starting to cost out what the what that could potentially look like and what the net impact to the current net $800 million would look like. So happy to share that with you.
Okay, because the way, I mean, this is all sounding to me, I know the good senator from the 26th had mentioned a user fee. It's kind of sounding like a tax, though, and we're going to give a different tax to different people. I know that, and the way I look at taxes is, you know, you're kind of forced to pay them.
Representative, if we could just summarize.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you kind of, people pay different, you know, they have no real option. And I just got to say, in my district, it's divided by a bridge, the Baldwin Bridge. And I did see the toll plan where there'd be Old Lyme and Old Saybrook would both have toll gantries, so one would have to assume that probably one would be on the Baldwin Bridge. So if it's a user fee, well then what's the option? Should my constituents kayak? Should they take a bike? And I don't mean to be funny, but it's a tax. I don't think of it as a user fee. And my final question is, so you've got the sticker that says 40%. So what is 60%? How much in your estimation would Connecticut residents be on the hook for if, and this is a generous estimate on your part, for 60%, I think it's more like 70, but 60%, what would they be on the hook for?
So of the $800 million, then they are going to be paying about $480 million.